Hey everyone, it's Lance with Ride with Lance. And the wait for the secret bike is finally over. I can finally show you what it is now, and we're going to take it out for a ride today. But first, let's take a look at it. I still have it on the truck, so it's easier to look at. We'll talk about a few standout items of this bike, but let me show you. And first, it is a Mokwheel. And at first glance, you might think that's an Obsidian, a step-through Obsidian, but it's not. It's the Mokwheel ONYX step-through. And taking a closer look, you'll see right there, mid-drive motor, 1,000-watt truck run that puts out 210 Newton meters of torque. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of torque. But let's look at a few other of the key items of this bike. We have Tektro 4-piston hydraulic brakes on 203 millimeter rotors, and that's the same in the back. So the back is getting the same thing too, not just the front. And if you look here, the suspension, 135 millimeters of travel, both compression and preloader adjustable. And let me go around here so you can see a little better. I guess you can, it's kind of hidden in there, but that's a D&M shock, air adjustable, and it's got a little over here to go if you want it harder or softer on while you're riding. It also has an upgraded derailleur. That's the Shimano Q's derailleur on a 10-speed. Trigger shifting. And it comes with a battery right here. That's a 48 volt, 19.7 amp hour battery. So a nice big battery. And this is something I haven't seen yet. You see the display? It is built into the stem. And it's kind of out of the way. I kind of like it. So if you ever have to flip your bike upside down, you're not worrying about hitting that screen. But we're going to see how it does. Of course, it's got a thumb throttle right here. And another thing I like about this, I've only ridden it up and down the street. You know, I haven't ridden out on the dirt. But it comes with shift interrupt, which is very important on a mid-drive like this with this much torque. So what it does, as soon as I shift a gear, it cuts power temporarily to the motor so the chain can shift, so you're not slamming that chain into the next gear and destroying your system. So that's going to be very interesting. There's probably going to be a learning curve too, because I think you're really going to have to plan out your hill climbing a little better so you're not shifting, so you're not losing that power even for a second. That really slows you down just to try and get going again, because it's just going to put a lot of torque, a lot of pressure on your gears and chain. But yes, that is the Mokwheel ONYX. But let's stop talking about it. Let's get it out on the trail and see how it actually does. All right, let's do this. I am anxious and a bit nervous on how this is gonna work. This is a tall bike even for a step through. I've got it in PAS 1. I'm in gear 6. Let's go down to, we're going to go to easy gear because it starts off with a little hill right here. Not much. We're going to get into steeper hills. I really want to see how this hill climbs. See, there's a throttle. Okay. Maybe I need to shift it. You hear it interrupt? Hi. Let's go to PAS 2. 3. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's shift it back down to 1. Oh yeah, I think I am going to like this. Very little power on the pedals, and it's taking me up. Even if I slow down on the hill. Okay, let's try Throttle. Going up the hill. $14, $12. Let's go to PAS 3. Okay, so the one thing I don't like, it's hard to see with polarized sunglasses on. Yeah, just almost too easy. That's a good thing. Those aren't steep hills though. So don't get this bike confused as a bike that's meant or built to be a high top speed bike. I really believe, and it feels like this bike was more to be like a tractor, you know? It'll just plow through anything. So it's going to be good for riding like this. Probably hunters. Hunters will probably love this. Overlanders. People who want to just make their own trails. They go straight through that woods right there. That's the kind of power this bike is going to give you. I am going downhill. Some bumps. Oh my gosh, that picks up speed pretty quick. The suspension. I haven't hit anything really big yet. Just a lot of stutter bumps. And it is just, it's soaking it up. I have to say, just from feeling that, I don't think I've felt front suspension on any bike yet as smooth. The X-Peak is smooth, but it doesn't have as much travel. I mean, this has 135 millimeters of travel, and I believe the X-Peak has 80. So you're getting a lot more. Ooh, look at the view. I know I've brought you guys out here before, but I wanted to come out here for its first ride so I could have a little privacy. Because I ain't going to be stopping and starting and moving the camera around, putting the camera on the ground. Oh, but I think Mokwheel has done a really good job on this bike. I mean, I've, ridden it for a few minutes. We're going to get into some other stuff that's going to tell the tale if this is really a nice bike or not and how it performs. But I'm all smiles right now, buddy. Oh yeah. It's got this camouflage design. It just looks really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah, man, I'm impressed so far. But let's keep going. We have some hill climbing to do right here. Now again, this is not really steep. I got some other places that are steeper and they're rockier on the way up. And I think we're gonna go up there and explore some roads or trails I've never been on before. But let's just get to it. Wheel spin. Yeah, this doesn't hesitate to give you power when it feels those pedals starting to go. Now it is a torque sensor, just like all mid drives. Let's put it into PAS 5 and just see how these hills do. How this does on the hills. I am in gear, what gear am I in? 4. Easy peasy. And on a hill, if I decide to stop pedaling and give it a throttle, let's see what it does. It does just fine. Now, you saw what the bike looked like when I had it on the bike rack. This bike does come with fenders, and it does come with a kickstand. But if you've watched my videos before, you know like when I off-road, I like quiet bikes. So I take the kickstand off, the fenders off. And you know what? I'm not getting a whole lot of chatter from that derailleur, that Q's derailleur. That thing is nice and tight. We're going to go over here to the right, where we're going to go down to Hidalgo Cemetery. That's a downhill. Coming up is what I want, because that's where it gets steep and rocky going up. And I'm going to try and position the camera to the side maybe so you can see this thing hill climb, if I can get it. There's a lot of weeds. I didn't bring a real tall tripod, but we'll see what we can do. So this, this 1,000 watt motor puts out 1,300 watts, or 1,300 peak watts, peak power, and 210 Newton meters of torque. And I can feel it right now, taking us up those hills. And these brakes, oh, those are nice. 4-piston brakes on 203 millimeter rotors. Here comes some bumpy stuff. Ooh, that back end feels good. The front end feels just as good too. Okay. We're going to go down some. Nice, nice. You have to watch out for this dry grass. That stuff can get slick. All right, here's some bumpy stuff. Love this. Not a lot of rattling going on. Woohoo! Yeah, I better take it easy. I told my wife I would take it easy. I don't want to come home with blood trails down my arms. And again, this was made to be like an adventure bike, not like I don't believe they intended it to be like a full-on mountain bike, where you're just really slamming those trails, doing drop-offs, doing jumps, hitting things really hard. I think is more like adventure riding. This is really nice. This is fun. You know, I hate to say it. The last time I came out here, I brought the Pucky Puppy Labrador Pro. And although it did fine, this one knocks its socks off. Okay, we're at Hill Doggo Cemetery. We're going to come here, turn around, and go back up that hill that we just did. Let's check out that view out there. Look at that. It's such a nice day. It's about 80 degrees, but it's breezy, so it feels good. But let's get turned around here. Now, one thing I'll show you. You can see right here. Since you have the double crowns, you can't. That's as far as you can turn it. Now, they put these stoppers here so you don't hit the forks against electronics or the frame. So you may have to do 3 and 4 point turns to do a U-turn like this to get back going the other way. But now let's really test it going uphill, because those are steep hills. We're gonna get to the rocky place there. I'm gonna stop, set the camera down so you can try and see the bike going up the hill. Gotta watch out where that wheel spin when you take off using the throttle. Gotta be ready. Okay. Here we go. Oh, no, we need. Let's take it at 5. Oh, yeah, there we go. Probably could have dropped it down to probably 3rd gear, 2nd gear for that. But took it up just fine. Such a nice ride out here. Okay, do a little coasting. We'll slow it down so we don't get a whole bunch of momentum starting up the hill. I am going to drop this down to 2nd gear. Here we go. I have to do a little rebound adjusting, compression adjusting on the front forks. Going up the hill, they do bounce back a little. Now we're coming into a steeper part. I'm going to take it down to 1. There's that shift interrupt I was telling you about. I'm just giving a little power on the pedals for this. We're getting to the rocky section. Oh boy. I'm on motor only right now. Let's go ahead and pedal. Oh yes, compared to the X-Peak and the Labrador Pro, this thing is just miles ahead. Going up a hill like that. But let's go see if we can find some new trails. I'm going to do a little, see if a little adjusting on the compression helps any. Let's go all the way to see how far it goes. That's where it stops. Let's see how it is now. Oh God, that might be a lockout right there. Let's go back off one. Let's back off 3. Let's see. Okay. So there is a lockout on it. Bug in the mouth. All right, I think up here where the road forks, I think I'm gonna go left this time because I thought I saw something last time I was here that went up higher. Now they say this is a 28 mile an hour bike, but I like it for its gruntness. Oh, look at this trail. This is the one I was talking about. Ooh, it smells really good. These flowers are really putting out a powerful scent. Now this is a gravelly road and it's doing just fine. I don't think anybody's going to want to get this as like a cruiser bike for the street, just for the street. This is where this bike really shines. Now we're just going to crawl up this thing, just like a tractor. I've never been up here. So we're all seeing this for the first time. Maybe my luck is just a dead end. Let's take it inside. Now, let's talk about, would I upgrade anything on this just from this quick ride? Ooh, that looks pretty steep, dang, right there. I'm sure this bike can make it, but I just don't know if I have the skill to do that. Let's go take a closer look. But I think I would get wider bars, not necessarily raised up, but wider bars. These feel a little narrow to me. Yeah, I think that is beyond my skill level right there. But I'm sure this, with the right person riding this, they can make it, because it hits that, and then there's maybe a 8-inch lip going up, and I think that's what screwed me up. But maybe let's go down this little trail right here to the right and see. So, yeah, I think I would get wider bars. I would just like a wider grip, I think, for me. I guess it dead ends right here. And I would probably get different grips. These are like cruiser grips. These are not really the kind you want for off-roading, but I think I have some in the garage I may switch out. But yeah, I think if I just get wider bars so my stance is more like this, that would make me a lot more comfortable. But for a lot of people, this is probably just fine. Now, I am 6 feet tall, 250 plus pounds, and this thing is just blowing every bike I've ridden so far out of the water. I mean, 210 Newton meters of torque. I think they were right. I think they're right. Some exaggerate. Let's get turned around. They're Newton meters of torque, but I think Mokwheel has got a spot on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to mid drives, because starting from a stop, pedaling, because that motor kicks in right away. Not a quarter turn, not a half a turn. I mean, right away. And it gives you more power than I think the throttle does. So I would really suggest starting with throttle first to get yourself going. But I am loving this. I am loving this. I even like this camouflage design. And of course, like usual, if you're interested in this bike, I'm going to have a link to it so you can go to the website directly from here. Check out all the specs to your heart's content. Now I am going to list all the specs in the description too, because I don't think I'm getting them all covered here. I didn't want to bring a cheat sheet out and keep stopping and look at it, and I just wanted to do this more of a natural ride, because like I said, with the reviews I'm doing now, it's not just about reading specs. It's about actually getting out there and using the bike the way it was intended and just having fun and bringing that fun along for you guys to watch. These brakes are powerful. I mean, even on this, the back end wants to lock up with a little effort, so I'm gonna have to learn to finesse these type of brakes so I don't get myself in trouble and lock the front end up, especially on a gravelly road like this. All right, we are coming into English Town, English Camp. This will be our turnaround point. The next thing to tackle is the long, kind of long, steepish hill on the way back to the truck. Woo-hoo. Some off-roading in there. So we're gonna come down here and turn around. And head up this hill. Last hill climb. Okay, so that's our final hill climb right there. Kind of looks like a kind of Z. It's kind of like an S turn that goes up this hill. I got to get up there, through the top of the trees, up a little more, and then I'll be back at the truck. So I am just going to leave it like this. I am in PAS 5. I'm going to take it down, even down to gear 1, just to see how it does. We'll probably just crawl up this thing. But I am anticipating it's going to make it up the whole way. Here we go. It's doing great. I'm really not putting a lot of effort. I am putting a little pressure on the pedals, but not a whole lot. Now comes for a steeper part that's in the shade here. Look at that. 250-pound dude. There we are. Did it with ease. I am impressed. They did a good job. Well, that's it for this first video. There's going to be plenty more on this one. You can bet it. You can bet your bottom dollar, whatever the saying is, on that. But you have a great day, great ride, great week. And I'll see you on the next video. Maybe on this one. Bye.